Frank the Ghost Martin, Vergil Ortiz, Arnold Barboza Jr., and Keith one-time Thurman on the same card? Shit.
No chance, so that's what you got.
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, you know I'm lying.
Yo, what's good, Boxing Talk family? Welcome back to your favorite boxing news channel, Dr. Boxing Talker. We are back for another YouTube video. Banger, man. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I don't know what time it is. A doctor's in the house, man. So check this out. But before we get to it, let's go ahead and smack that like button. Let's do it together. Appreciate you. That helps us to keep going and growing on this YouTube platform. So check this out. Look. So there's been some rumblings in these streets, you know, and there's a lot of people talking about a potential collaboration between PBC and Golden Boy Promotions, you know. And that'd be dope if we see Al Heyman and Oscar De La Hoya work together, man, because I personally been saying this, that while I do love what Big Turk is doing, I don't agree with everything, but I do like a lot of the events he's putting on. I think that it is improving my boxing experience, you know, saying lately, because we have been getting big fights, but I don't want a monopoly. I don't think a monopoly is ever good for any business or any sector, you know, because I think that if you have a monopoly, that means everything is funneled through you, and then you'll get to dictate how things are working and how things are going all the time. And you know, that's almost what it is right now, but we don't want that, right? We still want to see other boxing events put on by other promotions, and how it traditionally went before, whether a promotional company will put on their own, or they'll collaborate with each other, or they'll have other fights that are just facilitated that aren't affiliated with Turkey Al Sheikh or Riyadh season. So I think from that standpoint, this is good. However, I'm a little questionable, you know what I'm saying? Because this just seems like a lot out of the blue. You feel me? So what I'm saying is that it makes sense because Keith Thurman has been on if you want to say a promotional tour, calling out Jerome Busenis, calling out Terrence Bud Crawford, even calling out Errol Spence, all these people that he has a history with. Avoiding the fights, you know what I'm saying? Like, we already know it's because of him that him and Errol Spence didn't fight. We know it's because of him that him and Terrence Crawford didn't fight. And we know some others, you know, we just don't believe it, Keith. You know what I'm talking about? That performance against Brock Jarvis, that just wasn't enough to convince us that you really about that life. But I will say this, if this is true against Vergil Ortiz, man, hey, this will suffice for me, man. Hey, you'll get that one time back for the one time, you know. So I would love to see this fight if it happens. Do I believe it? I'm not sure, but I will say this, a lot of people are reporting it, and the source is coming from Julius Julianis, you know, and he's a pretty reputable source. I've seen a lot of things that he would announce, and it actually comes into fruition. Of course, boxing moves and flows, you know, it moves with fluidity, so sometimes you're going to be wrong, but a lot of times he's right. So everybody that you see reporting this is coming from Julius Julianis, and he does have a reputation, at least from my experience, he has a reputation of being correct more times than he's incorrect. So I think that since it's coming from him, this is very believable, man. And not only that, I think this is a good fight, right? We've seen Frank Martin speaking on potentially coming back. You know what I'm saying? That was via Champ Side, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw him on Champ Side's video talking about he's on the verge of coming back. He has a fight coming up that he can't really speak about or disclose. I seen him also have an interview, I believe, a Fight Hype, where he said something similar, and he said he's coming back to make his debut at 140. And I think that's great because Arnold Barboza, you know, he's coming off of his loss to Teofimo Lopez. So I think that this is a good fight for him too. Now, the only questionable part for me is that this fight is announced to be in October. You know, Vergil Ortiz was saying that he could come back in October or November, potentially even be out till 2026, because him and Robert Garcia, his trainer, Robert Garcia, have said that he had a hand injury. So I guess maybe the recovery's ahead of schedule, you know what I'm saying? Because they have been saying that he could possibly be coming back. And if this is true, he'll come back in October. And not even just, in addition to that, Arnold Barboza said that he was coming back in November, right? So this is in October, so that's not too far off, right? The only thing is that, you know, what I was like a little suspicious about is that Arnold Barboza said that he was coming back at welterweight. But then later on that week, he said that he's ready to fight anybody at 140 or 147. So, you know, this is right. This aligns. This announcement aligns with what he's saying. So that he could potentially come back in November. October is only a month difference. And then this is also at 140. So I think this is a great fight between Frank Martin for his debut at 140 against Arnold Barboza. And I really like this fight for Vergil Ortiz and Keith Thurman. I will say this, though. Vergil Ortiz fighting Keith Thurman. I'm a little disappointed from Vergil Ortiz's standpoint because he just fought Madrimov, right? And of course, we want to see him in bigger fights. He is an interim title holder, but we know that Boots is occupied with potentially somebody else. You know, the rumors are that it could be Jesus Ramos. The rumors is that it could have been Jonas Tellus. We know it's not Jonas Tellus because he has a fight scheduled, but there are rumors that that fight could be next. So if Vergil Ortiz and Boots are after one more fight for the both of them, I think this is good. If Vergil Ortiz is fighting Keith Thurman, that's cool. And then the next fight be Boots, and then Boots is fighting Jesus Ramos, and then or Jonas Tellus, or whoever it is. You know, we know it's not Jonas Tellus, but somebody else. And then after that, it'll be Vergil Ortiz. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's Boots and Josh Kelly or Vergil Ortiz and Thurman, or even Josh Kelly, who said that there's rumors that he's fighting Bakram, whatever it is in the interim, if we could eventually lead up to get Vergil Ortiz and Boots, I'm cool with Vergil Ortiz and Thurman and Boots versus whoever else, you know what I'm saying, if that's what it's building up to. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this. I think this is a dope card. I'll be greatly interested in this. You know that this is just had boxing pick up towards the latter portion of the year, you know what I'm saying, because this month of August is kind of slow, man. You know, it's kind of slow. So all news is good news right now. So hopefully this comes to fruition. If I had to put my money on it, I have my doubts, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a bigger chance that it won't happen, but I do hope it does happen, you know. And this is what's being said around the YouTube streets, the Twitter streets, and all these other boxing related streets, that this fight is in these fights are in possible discussion for October. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. If it does come into fruition, early prediction, I have Frank the Ghost Martin beating Arnold Barboza, and I have Vergil Ortiz beating Keith Thurman. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Don't forget to smack that like button. But most importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace.
From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.